So what will happen as we enter 2026? Will the stock market crash or will rockets launch into space? The worst part is that nobody knows any of this. On Wall Street, everyone has a different opinion. Everyone is making predictions and comments. But life consists of realities. The market is neither a bear market nor a bull market. We're right in the middle. Anything can happen at any moment. The collapse of the Magnificent Seven or a new peak. Right now, almost many markets have pinned their hopes on the very large technology stocks we know as the Magnificent Seven. Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, Tesla. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Of course it's familiar, because probably 40% of your portfolio is in these companies, and that's where the problem begins. In the 1970s, there was something called the Nifty 50, 50 never-failing stocks. Almost everyone was investing in them. Then what happened, you know? Boom. A massive bubble burst. People lost all their investments they made with their savings. Is history repeating itself now? Maybe. Maybe not. But here's the real point. Putting all your eggs in the same basket, no matter how solid that basket looks, is not something a smart person would do. Let's talk about the AI bubble for a bit. Have you looked at Nvidia's valuation lately? Logic is literally dead. Yes, artificial intelligence is a magnificent thing. Our future may be in the hands of these artificial intelligences. But the exaggerations we're experiencing right now are reminiscent of the dot-com bubble in 2000. Back then, everyone was saying, the internet will change everything. That was true. But that didn't mean pets.com should be worth billions of dollars. Then what happened? The bubble burst. No trace of the bubble remained. Debt, the silent killer. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Debt. The United States national debt has exceeded $38 trillion. I'm saying trillion to you. Read it. 38 trillion. This number is so big that the human brain can't comprehend it. And we're spending $1 trillion a year just to pay the interest on this debt. Just the interest. We're not even paying the actual debt. We're just paying its bill. We can compare this to ordering simple drinks with a credit card at a bachelor party in Miami at 2 a.m. You're having fun, everyone around you is happy, but when the bill comes the next morning, reality will slap you in the face. The government is at that party right now. And the music is still playing. Americans are also drowning individually. Record levels of mortgages, car loans, student loans, credit card debt. Student debts are particularly interesting because they're like a chronic condition of the finance world. They never fully go away. They're constantly there, constantly hurting you. Then there's this system called buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later. Sounds innocent, doesn't it? It's not. This is a new generation debt trap. People are now making installment payments even for a $50 t-shirt. Because there's no cash, nobody has money, but everyone is spending. Is this sustainable? No. Social Security, the Titanic, has no captain. Let's look at U.S. government spending. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, national defense, and debt interest. These 5 items cover almost all of the budget. They can't turn off the tap on any of them. Why? Because this would be a political suicide attempt. The Social Security Fund will disappear in 2033. Yes, you heard that right. Just 7 years later, and what will happen then? Retirees will receive only 77% of their salaries. The remaining 23% is gone. Disappeared. My condolences. So how will the government solve this? You think they'll solve it, don't you? They have no idea. Will they raise taxes? Political suicide? Will they cut spending? Political suicide again. Will they borrow more? They're already doing that, but that's like undermining the foundation. Eventually, the building will collapse. Crypto. A bad Tinder date. Let's get to cryptocurrencies. Yes, I hate crypto. Let me say that openly. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and thousands of other coins. They're all marketed as the future. But what's the reality? Extreme volatility, zero real-world use, and perhaps the biggest fraud situation in history. Remember FTX? Sam Bankman-Fried is in prison right now. Terra, Luna, melted away. completely disappeared. Millions of money flew away overnight. Let's talk about MicroStrategy for a bit. This company decided to convert its cash reserves to Bitcoin. Not limiting themselves to this, they borrowed millions and bought more Bitcoin. This might be the worst investment in stock market history. The company is no longer a technology company, it's an indirect Bitcoin vault. For companies, it has turned into a risky casino game with an uncertain outcome. Crypto is a complete casino. Some people win, yes, but most lose. And the losing side is usually young people shouting, "But blockchain technology is revolutionary," and believing in pastel-colored slogans. Gold. Central banks. Don't trust the dollar. Gold prices have taken flight upward recently. Why? The reason is not inflation. The real reason is that central banks are losing confidence in the US dollar. China, Russia, India, all these countries are buying gold to evaluate their investments in different options, because the dollar is no longer a safe harbor for them. What does this mean? The end of dollar hegemony? Not broken yet, but there are cracks. And these cracks are growing every day. Private credit, creepy uncle's loan offer. After the 2008 crisis, banks were subjected to strict regulations. They reduced lending. So then how would many companies borrow money? That's where private credit came in. The private credit market is now a massive $2.5 trillion industry. They're not subject to regulations like banks are. They don't ask for your grades, but their interest rates are very high. We can compare this to a creepy uncle who gives you cash with bad terms. At first, he seems like a savior. Then the bill comes. This market isn't transparent. Risks are hidden. If a crisis breaks out in 2026, the private credit sector could be the first domino. 2026, bear, bull, or chaos. So what will happen in 2026? There are three scenarios. Scenario 1. The bull continues. The AI bubble doesn't burst. The Fed pulls interest rates down. The government prints more money than ever. Markets keep rising. Everyone gets rich. Happy ending. Will this happen? Maybe, but it's a very low probability. Scenario 2. The bear is coming. The AI bubble bursts. The debt crisis deepens increasingly. Recession comes. People and companies are looking for holes to hide in, trembling like frightened mice. Stocks hit rock bottom. Panic. Chaos. Will this happen? Maybe. But nobody can even predict when it will happen. Scenario 3. The gray area. Markets neither fully fall nor fully rise. Volatility is at its peak. Up one day, down the next. Everyone is in shock. Nobody knows what to do. Fear and greed coexist. The gray scenario was the most frustrating one. Investor types. Which one are you? On Wall Street, there are 4 types of investors. Value. Investor. The type who wears beige pants, drinks lukewarm coffee, looks for free stocks. Warren Buffett fan. Patient. Boring. But usually wins at the end of the day. Technical analysts. The type who looks at charts, draws lines, talks about support levels. Sometimes they're right, not always. Options. Investors. The type who plays with leverage, chases quick gains, usually loses everything. The heroes of our Wall Street bets. Permabears. The type who always tells doomsday scenarios. The market will crash, they're shouting. They've been shouting since 2008. One day they'll be right, but by that day they'll have missed many opportunities. Then there's Dave. The stupid investor who thinks he knows everything in a bull market but is just walking with the help of his luck. He invests in high beta stocks, makes money when the market rises, thinks he's Warren Buffett, then loses everything when the market falls. Dave seems familiar from somewhere, doesn't he? Maybe you are Dave. Conclusion. Have your chair. When the music stops, 2026 is a game of musical chairs. The music is playing, everyone is playing. But when the music stops, there won't be enough chairs for everyone. There will be those who sit, but most will be standing. There's a debt crisis. There's an AI bubble. There's a private credit bomb. There's crypto chaos. Gold is rising. The dollar is weakening. Markets are uncertain. What should you do? Diversify. Manage risks. And ask yourself this question. When the music stops, do I have a chair? Because in 2026, the music will stop. Be ready.